Excellent 8 and WFLQ Port St. Joe. Panama City's home for Super Bowl 60. Powered by Panama City Toyota. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And it's Monday, and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for Orlando Magic basketball. Right after the show today, so good to have you joined in. We're pumped up and ready to go on this Monday. It is cold around these parts here in the Panhandle. I'm telling you what, I thought I saw Frosty and Santa over by the beach earlier today, and I don't know if it was them or not, but it looked just like them, and it was cold enough to have them. So either way, we are here and we are warm because we're inside. So either way, you can be a part of the show. 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. As always on a Monday, I'm joined with Brian Haddad. Brian, how you doing today?
Good.
And as always on a Monday, we got Jeffrey in the house. Jeffrey, how you doing?
Doing good.
You having a good week?
Well, I mean, the week just
Monday.
started, but I work outside.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
And the wind was gusts of 29 degrees. I mean, a mile per hour, and it would just cut me down, especially if I look towards the north is where it's coming out of, and it would just kill me. And I'm complaining because I'm a Southerner, and I'm not used to this.
No. And as always on a Monday, we got Bone Crusher in the building. Bone Crusher, how you doing?
All right.
Good to have you.
Let's do
and
this.
a big time special guest. Usually he's on Thursday,
Thursdays.
But today he graced us with his appearance. Stone Cold Brian Austin in the building. Stone Cold, how you doing?
Doing good, man.
You
That's
brought
good.
the cold with you, Stone Cold. I'm telling you,
That's not on me,
jeez.
man.
So let's go ahead and talk about the Lone Star Bowl House. So what's on tap for today, for this week's Lone Star Bowl House?
Closed.
It didn't say Cold Star Bowl House. It's Lone Star Bowl House.
That's a little too cold for us, man.
I don't blame you.
I'm sorry. No, I don't have crawfish. I mean, the crawfish took a beating with all the ice and everything in Louisiana. So without crawfish, I'm just not. No.
Yeah.
I'll open back up on Saturday. We're having a Mardi Gras party. It's going to be really cold this weekend again, too.
Yeah, it's going to be cold.
I will have crawfish on Saturday.
Well, that's awesome.
That makes it a little
and
better.
I'm glad you're talking about Mardi Gras because that is coming very soon. We actually celebrate here as well. And so hopefully everybody will get out and have a good time with that. Do you have any Mardi Gras specials that you're going to be having on your menu?
Saturday, we're obviously going to have crawfish, but we'll have red beans and rice, gumbo, and etouffee. And then Mardi Gras cheesecake. Then Ashley's got that whole Mardi Gras drink menu with the king cake bushwhackers and Zydeco punch, all that other stuff. So
Now, is it a seafood gumbo or is it chicken and sausage?
chicken and sausage,
Okay.
which I love seafood more.
Yeah.
You get so many people, though, around
I know.
here, which is weird. I mean, I'm a seafood restaurant.
And he will correct you.
But-
It's on, you do andouille
Yeah.
sausage,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it. I just like how it tastes.
It's got a kick to it. A lot of times it has a kick to it.
But so you're going to be closed this week, going to kick up on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then tell us about this cheesecake, because I saw a picture of it, and my goodness, I mean, how do you make somebody want some dessert at night by showing pictures of that without saying? Because it's just cheesecake, and then it's got some kind of lemon dressing or key lime.
No, you're looking at the key lime pound cake.
That's what I was talking
That's
about.
what- yeah.
And who made that?
My wife's mom.
Okay,
So she came in and she baked a couple of those.
And
so.
is she local?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna put it out there. The show would love that at any time.
Unfortunately, we sold it all yesterday, so I did not have any to
That's
bring in
okay.
here
That's
today,
all right.
so.
That's okay. Well, there's always Thursday or Friday or Saturday or any day for that goes.
So the Mardi Gras cheesecake, it's a cheesecake and you have icing on top?
Yeah.
And then granules?
Yeah.
And 3 different colors?
Yep.
Okay, that sounds good.
With a little
I just had to
baby
check,
Jesus
you know.
inside of one of the slices. Too,
What's that?
So, with a little baby Jesus inside of one of the slices. So.
Oh man, it's terrible for some of y'all that have crowns.
I don't need to hear any of this.
But either way, we're so happy to have you, and not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Texas Longhorns or the Dallas Cowboys, except for one little thing.
Uh-oh.
So last night I was watching the football game and enjoying the playoffs and seeing who's going to go to the Super Bowl. And after the game was over, they were doing their interviews, and JSN was getting interviewed. Well, lo and behold, on JSN's, and people that don't know who that is, that's Jackson Smith in Jigba, the great wide receiver from that school up north that I don't like to talk about. But anyway, he's a great wide receiver, one of the best in the NFL. But anyway, so I noticed one of his tattoos is the Dallas Cowboys star on there. So, and I was reading about it because I was prepared, and they said that's as close as the Cowboys are going to come to the Super Bowl is on his arm. So there you go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
much.
How does that feel?
I mean, they're right. I'm not going to deny it.
You should love JSN because he's the guy who gave us Jameson Williams, basically.
That is true. That is very true. Yep. He was the one that kind of pushed him on out, and Mbike or whatever his name is. But either way, that's crazy. So we have to talk about it. Actually, we do have somebody on the Red 17's phone line. We're going to go ahead and take that call. Mike, are you on with the red beans and rice?
Yes, I am. I tell you, there's nothing like good old red beans and rice to get your belly cold or belly warm on a cold, chilly day up here in Ohio. And I hear it's 45 down in Panama City. God, I wish I was down there with you guys.
We do too, Mike. How cold is it up there right now?
It's 7 degrees.
Oh, man. Probably with a wind chill factor of somewhere in the negative teens, I would say.
Paul, let me ask you a question before I call and tell you what I want to talk about. Do you ever follow NASCAR?
We do a little bit, not a lot here.
Is there any radio station that cover NASCAR in Panama City?
No, sir. I don't believe so.
No, okay. Okay, now, Paul, you and I know the New England Patriots are the most hated team in football because they're going back to their Super Bowl for the 13th time, and I didn't want them to win. I wanted Los Angeles to win last night. I wanted, who
Denver.
I wanted Denver to win last night. But, of course, they didn't, and it was snowing, and it was blowing, and I was real disappointed with the way the quarterback came out. And at first it looked good, but as the game went on, it didn't look good. But I don't like New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl. What say you?
Well, it's going to be a lot of determining factors. I think coming into it, it's going to be more about what Seattle can do more than what the Patriots can do. I don't believe that if it's a high-scoring game that the Patriots will be able to keep up. I think that just because of the wide receiver play and the way Sam Darnold's playing right now and they're being able to run the football, it's going to be a tough task. I'm not really sure. I do know this, that you're correct, though. I believe the Patriots are the most hated team in the NFL, besides the Cowboys.
Hey, don't knock the Cowboys, because I got a friend of mine down in Cape Coral, Florida. Her husband's a Cowboy fan, so I have to be careful not to talk about the Cowboys that way.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
But you
We got to be careful. We got Brian.
We got Brian here, so he's a big Cowboy fan. I mean, he actually shaves his chest hair in the star every morning when he wakes up.
Leaves, we can start running our
Back
mouth.
hair. You're right.
Brian. Hey, Brian.
What's up, bud?
I tell you what you can do if you run that restaurant down in Panama City, Florida.
Yep.
Cook me some beans and rice, and I can eat them.
I'm cooking them on Saturday.
Sounds good, Mike. Well, we sure do appreciate the call, buddy.
Hey, Paul. I'll be back tomorrow.
All right, buddy.
5 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Have a
Bye-bye.
good day. Thank you. Be warm. So let's move it to that first game. Let's look at the Broncos and the Patriots. Obviously, we've got the whole week to talk about it. Just want to touch on a few things in regards to Jared Stidham. Like, I understand what he was saying, but at the end of the day, no quarterback really played good in that kind of environment. There's no possible way. All the points were scored before the field was covered with snow. All the points were scored before the snow started blowing sideways. Just to have the ability to throw the football and at least make it close to the wide receiver in that kind of weather. I don't care who you are. If you think Bo Nix would have done better, I disagree 100%. I don't think Bo Nix would have made a big difference. I think the score would have probably been the same. Bo might would have ran some more maybe, but there again, you really don't know because, obviously the Patriots defense probably would have been a little bit different considering Bo using his feet more than what Jared Stidham played at. So realistically, it ended kind of how everybody thought it was with the way that Stidham coming in. There's no discussion that Denver's got a top 5 defense in the country or in the National Football League. And when you look at them being able to do the things that they can do, you knew that they were going to have one big play to kind of push them. But let me ask y'all this. So realistically, 4th and 2, they have it inside, and instead of Peyton going for the field goal early, wind wasn't blowing, everything was kind of calm. He passes on kicking the field goal and instead goes for it on 4th down. And the play call was a really bad play call from what, obviously, he's a great coach, Hall of Fame coach probably. So it's easy to sit here and armchair him. But I think if he had it to do all over again, obviously he probably would have kicked knowing that, because he gets a weather report. They know that when the weather is coming. So why not go ahead and get what you can right now because you're not promised, as we saw, another point. And so that's what the difference between him and Mike Vrabel. Vrabel went ahead and kicked it, and Peyton didn't. So what do y'all think about that?
I mean, Peyton knows, the lesson. I mean, it's not like this is his first rodeo, but the lesson is you never give up points when you're in the playoffs. If you have a chance at points, you take them, especially New England's known for their defense this year, so it's not going to be a 52-49 shootout. No. So you take the points or the better shot at points when you have that opportunity. I think the problem, you see it in college and certainly in the pros, is it's become a little easier for these guys to go for it on 4th because they're doing it off of feel for the game. He probably felt like he had a good play call design there or something and just thought, let's just go. And you can talk yourself into some really bad ideas, and I think it's as simple as that. I think he just talked himself out of what he knew was right, which is take the points when you can get them in the playoffs. And he paid for it.
Yeah, he paid the utter price because his defense was fantastic. I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders. I mean, obviously, the pass game was a little different once the snow started flying. And really, I mean, there's just no way. When you look at what Drake May was able to do, maybe running the football was a little bit probably what Bo Nix would have done. So it would have been interesting to see if both of them would have played, because he played like Bo Nix played. He didn't really have any big throws. He didn't have anything. Now, I will say this. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the one throw where he overthrew the wide receiver in the end zone.
The dude's got a cannon. I don't know how far that ball went, but he's got a cannon. I mean, it was about 65 yards in the air from the release, and I was just like, wow, this guy, he might not be there yet, but he's definitely a big timer. Jeffrey, when you see the game, obviously you picked the Broncos to lose and you picked the Patriots to win, but your reasoning was only because of Stidham. How did you think Stidham played? Because I thought, realistically, after those first couple of passes where he missed, he kind of found his rhythm, and they gave him some easy converted. But there were some passes that he threw that were not easy throws that he completed.
Okay. He made me forget that he's the backup quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how well he was playing. And when he went up 7-0, and at that same point, that was like the pivotal point of the game, in my opinion, because the second half, I didn't enjoy it at all. I wanted to vote to have Buffalo, New England, Denver, and Chicago all have dome stadiums from now on out, because it was not football. It was disappointing. But that drive, when they went down, fourth down, right, and they go for it. And at first, I said, no, I would kick it. And then I was asked the question, about it, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is Sean Payton. And I was like, he's pulled this out before. Parcells coaching tree. He's a gambler. He knows what he's doing. Maybe I should put more confidence in a guy, because I'm not him, right? I'm not that good.
Right.
And I put my confidence in him, and then I saw it unfold. And I was like, ugh, that's ugly. And I didn't have the foresight to know that the second half was going to be a snowstorm like it was. So in hindsight, sure, I'm looking at it like there's no way you go for it on fourth. And originally I was saying don't go for it on fourth. And I guess it was the right decision, but it's all hindsight. I mean, it's hard to even, to digest. Could this game have gone in overtime with a 10-10 tie?
Yeah, probably would have. Obviously there was no offensive movement because obviously the weather. Going to go to the Red 7T's phone line and read a little bit. Sean Payton has always been aggressive on 4th and short, which is exactly what you're talking about. And then Stidham had the 2 turnovers. The fumble was crucial, but it's what you expect from a backup. But
okay, let's talk about that play, though.
Go ahead.
How did you feel about it? Did you think it was because he started to go with it, and then he pulled back, and then he sort of just pushed it out. And it didn't look like it went backwards to me. It looked like it went straight down the line. And they called it a fumble, right?
Yeah.
And then New England got the ball and ended up scoring a touchdown. Their only touchdown of the game.
Yeah, the only one.
Did you feel like that was a fumble?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I thought it was too. Yeah.
All three, y'all?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah,
Brian's like indifferent.
Well, I wasn't watching it live, and I haven't studied it per se, so I don't really have a strong.
Yeah, and
I know this though. Even if it's straight down the line, they're going to call it.
That's
correct.
correct. They're going to call it.
Yeah,
because it has to be a forward pass. It can't be
sideways
or back. So any of those.
Real
things.
quick to interject, you brought up an interesting point I had not really considered before. Yeah, I said that right. Brought something up that made me think. The Super Bowl never anymore will go to somewhere where the elements are going to affect it. If they go to Detroit to do it, they're going to play it in a dome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's such an important game, they don't want that to be what gets in the way. I mean, this clearly horribly affected both teams. I'm not saying one had an advantage over the other, but it made it, like you said, kind of a miserable watching experience. Is this something the NFL may, you think, take up? I know the home field is so prized. You don't want to take that away from a team, but this is a critically important game.
It is.
And it's like you said, as a viewer, you kind of were just like, this is garbage.
And some of those guys think that this is great and all that, and they love it. But and the only one I could almost see people enjoying it is the Packers.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, half of them look miserable. Some of the, if you see wives in the audience, you could see they're like, I can't believe I agreed to be here.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, and you have to look at it in I'm grabbing what Brian is saying, and what you were alluding to is the fact that this is the game before going to the biggest game of your life. You know, everybody is not guaranteed. I don't care how good you look this year. If you get there, it's something special. And to have it in a place like that is not allowing you to be at your best, to see whether or not my best is better than your best. And I get it. The northern people and the people that have always talked about, playing up north and all that. I don't think this type of game is what they even want. They want it cold, but where the sideways snow. I mean, there was a time where the ball was punted and nobody saw where it went. And even the announcers who's on the field said, I would like to say how far the punt was, but I have no idea because I lost it in the sun, in the whiteness of the sky.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like you don't want to have the conditions so bad that it's because say that it was a tied game. I mean, what are we going to do? Get to the point to where we give each team from the 5-yard line, and whoever can stop the other team is who's going to win. I mean, because that's exactly because absolutely zero moving of the ball from either offense. Yeah. Even to the point to where when the Patriots got the ball, they said, well, we'll punt it because we're definitely not even going to try anything, and we're just going to believe. And I know that he said we're going to believe that our defense will stop them, but with the elements, there's no possible way that it wouldn't stop.
Was it 3 missed field goals?
Yeah, 3. Yep. 2 from Denver and 1 from
So not
Patriots.
only do you eliminate the passing game, but you eliminate half of the rushing game because you really can't go wide and cut.
No.
So it ends up being a between the tackles, my guys versus your guys. Now, if you were cryogenically frozen 80 years ago and you woke up and you saw the second half of that game, you were like, football. That's it. Because that's what it was.
That's what
so I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not saying we should go to neutral site and all like that. I just thought it was an interesting comment that you made that they may want to consider because it completely changed, and something that important to, it's, I don't know. It just seems rough to me that that's going to determine who goes to the Super Bowl.
They could have moved the game up an hour, though, honestly.
Yeah, they could have done something.
You knew the weather was coming.
Yeah. And I get it. They had all the stuff. But we're going to go ahead and take our next break. I know we've got Robert on the line. Robert, if you could stay on there with us, we are going to take our next break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Robert about that third down conversion. You're listening to the Sports Blitz of Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70 studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a wind around 20 miles per hour out of the north with gusts around 29 miles per hour and 46. Tonight, look for a blustery wind and clear skies with a temperature near 29. Tomorrow, a high around 48 and sunshine. Wednesday, warm with a high of 52 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Discover your next adventure at Bill Bird Kia, where the road is yours. Start the new year in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. And don't miss this limited time offer on the purchase of a stunning new 2025 Kia K4 with sporty style, spirited performance, and 2.9% APR for up to 48 months. Thinking about the iconic Kia Soul? The 2025 model delivers its unmistakable silhouette and massive cargo space. It's the last of its kind. Purchase a new 2025 Kia Soul and get 3.9% APR for up to 60 months. But hurry before it's all gone. You get the perfect balance Lots of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 with $22.09 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months, or a new 2025 Kia Soul with $18.37 per month per 1,000 financed in 60 months. Quantities are limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. New vehicles only. Not available on balloon finance. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer program we contain. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivered from dealer stock through 2226.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The magic plays here.
Couple of fakes outside. Wagner, the pump and drive back to back.
Tonight, it's the Magic versus the Cavaliers. Tip-off at 6 right here.
Your new home for select Orlando Magic games. The NBA is on. ESPN Northwest Florida. The new Sports Blitz.
Oh, yeah!
Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And Arizona. Welcome to the Sports Blitz. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget, right after the show, the Orlando Magic. Right here. Go watch them, listen to them. And, man, I think Bone Crusher, you got to get us some tickets to give away for some Orlando Magic soon. You need to call the CEO and tell him we got tickets we need to give away.
What if I stuff y'all in a luxury suite?
That's what I'm talking about. Stuff us all in there.
We'll talking my language.
What if I drive you there, too?
Whoa!
Oh, that would be even
last
better.
year and the year before. I think we're going to do it again.
I think that sounds like a great idea. So we're going to do that. Got Brian with us, got Stone Cold Brian with us from Lone Star Boil House, got Jeffrey here and Bone Crusher, as you know, but we're going to go straight to the phone line. We've got Robert on the line. Robert, thanks for being patient, my man. How you doing today?
I am doing out freaking standing. How about yourself?
We're doing good. We're inside, so we're better than most.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in the car right now. I moved down here to get away from that stuff.
I know.
It's crazy, man. It's nuts. I'm ready to move further south now.
I know, that's right.
But anyway, Paul, let me get, going back to this third down conversion with Cooper. They said he had to make a move or something like that to make the pass complete, or I just to me, I don't think he made a so-called move or whatever. I think the ball hit the turf. I think it should have been an incomplete pass. But my question is to you. I don't know how old you are, Paul, but I'm 59 years old. I grew up in the 70s watching the Miami Dolphins go undefeated in '76, one of my all-time favorite teams. But they were busting butts back in, knocking each other out, and video review never came into the question. Never. They just went with the referee, and if he said it was that he was God.
Right.
And I think it kind of ruined football, but I don't think that was a complete pass. Do you?
Well, it's definitely a discretionary call. It really, to me, I thought that with the new rules that they got, that it should have been an incomplete pass. If you say he's got to finish the catch, what's the difference with him finishing the catch when he's in fair territory, so to speak, and him falling on the ground and the ball popping out, than when he's in the end zone and he falls out of bounds and they want him to land and have control of the football after he's landed. So I don't understand how they do either or, but for whatever reason, they leave it for the discretionary of the people realistically that are making the phone call, who they're calling. So the people that are watching it, they're the ones making the call. And realistically, if the referee makes a call, they can actually just overturn it. So to me, I thought it was an incomplete pass just because the ball came out and he didn't complete the catch like they have been saying for so long. But I'm thinking that there's different rules for when you're in fair territory or on the football field compared to when you're falling out of bounds.
I agree with you on that. My second question, real quick, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me, I can't remember, who did the Titans hire as their head coach?
They haven't.
Remember?
Yeah, he did.
They did?
Robert Salah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's right. They went with Salah, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
We tried to block it out of our mind already.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, okay. But, do you see the same thing I see, like McVay? I can't remember the guy's name at Seattle. We fired Vrabel 2 years ago, and that girl up there, I don't know what her problem is, but do you see that kind of the NFL swinging back, not to the run and gun of the Warren Moons and stuff like that, but, just a prolific passing, and these young coaches coming in? Do you still see that happen? You guys have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later.
We appreciate the call, Robert. Thank you. And everybody can chime in on this one, and you can agree with me or whatever, but I do believe that the NFL is going back to a little bit more of defensive-minded coaches. And when you look at these teams that were playing over the weekend, even if you rewind and look back to the defenses that gets played during the playoffs, it's totally different than what it is in the regular season. It just seems like it. And I know that, they may be getting people off of, injury or getting their better players back, or they don't take it as serious. Once they get into the playoffs, it seems like they clamp down, and you can notice that. And I always said that whenever the Ravens would always blow up the league in the regular season, then they would get to the playoffs, and it seemed like they just clamped down on them. And it just seems like those defensive-minded coaches moving forward look really good. Now, obviously, McVay, he's a offensive-minded coach, but if you look at how they play, they've taken a page out of some of these defensive coaches' playbooks, and they play a little style of defense like they do. Same thing with Sean Payton. Look at what he's done with his defense. His defense keeps him in ball games, and then if they can run the football, I think it's getting back to old school is what I'm trying to say, is that with hard defense and running the football, with those teams that play good defense and run the football, for whatever reason, we always are talking about them around this time of the season.
What did we talk about a week ago? Same thing.
Yep.
College doing it too.
Yep.
I think you're right. I mean, 5-8 years ago, we were having the shootout Rams-Chiefs games, and we were having the college with the boards with the 4 idiot pictures on them and the nonsense and all that.
Taylor Swift is what you said.
Yeah, and Elmo and whatever else on there. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I like the fact that it's gotten back to this. Now, I think some of that is they're not quite as bad about calling pass interference every time somebody coughs anymore. But I think some of these coaches are seeing the value in controlling the clock too. So, I mean, it's definitely swung back to control the line of scrimmage, be able to run the football. Obviously, you still have to be able to throw the ball downfield, make intermediate throws and things like that. But as someone who's probably more of a traditionalist with football, I'm glad we're trending the way that we are, because I really didn't like the track meets we were doing 5-8 years ago.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, when you look at it, having to see how the Eagles have built their team with defense first and then running the football, I mean, that realistically is what has really changed for them. And so when you see that, it makes you have a little bit of hope or not as much hope for the Cowboys.
I'm good. I mean, we got back to running the ball this year, finally.
Finally.
Yeah. And they've got a really good offensive line, and we were without our starting left tackle all year long, too, at the same time. So he'll be back next year, but I will say the Texans probably wish they would have been running the ball last week.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
that's really it.
If they would have ran the ball, they probably beat the Patriots last week.
It's a good because their defense was fantastic.
When you have a defense that good, just control the clock, man. Don't make mistakes.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. We're going to go ahead and take our next phone call. We got Big Nate on the phone line. Big Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
And my Hawks are going to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm talking about. Are you pumped up, man?
Dude, I couldn't even watch the game half of it yesterday because I was losing my mind over certain things, but I got through it. I pumped the brakes at halftime, and I got through the game.
Now, if you would have thought that beginning of the season, your team signed Sam Darnold, and you knew what you had in your defense, you knew what you had in your run game, but you had Sam Darnold coming there with JSN, you got Cooper Kupp there now, and I mean, were you thinking it was going to be this good, or did you just say, well, we might make the playoffs?
I was setting the table to have a contention of a wild card, honestly. I thought that we would have a chance. And as the season went on, I got more and more invested because they kept adding pieces and building equity in the team. And you got to see the special teams. You got to see the defense. And it wasn't just one side or the other. It was the entire team doing things, which really, as a fan, that's what you want. You want to not have any questions, like, are they going to do this? Yeah. I had no doubts about this game yesterday. Not one. Because I saw the progression of how we faced the Rams all year. Yes, we lost the first one, but the Rams are a tough team. San Francisco beat us in the first game. They're a tough team. What I'm most happy about is the AFC. Now, get me on this. The AFC have cut their own throat with all the dysfunctional teams that they have over there. You've got what? The Denver Broncos, right? Which they should have probably beat the Patriots. Yep. And you got the Patriots. Now, the Patriots have probably the easiest schedule to get to the wins that they did. So their SOS is just, forget it. Going up against the fourth hardest schedule, the Seahawks, who proved every time they had to play somebody, it was somebody of quality. So you tell me who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm pretty excited about it for that fan base as well. And then just being able to watch, and I watched them early on, and obviously we watched during I'm one of those crazy ones that watches the preseason and all that just to kind of see what everybody does. But after they started, and I was like, okay, they're not going to really depend on Sam Darnold to win football games. They're going to get the ball out early. They're going to let them get it to JSN, to some of these other guys. They're going to have short routes. They're going to get open, and then they're going to be able to run the football. And then when I saw that, I was like, well, you know what? There's only a couple of teams that, to me, would be able to match them when it comes to that kind of play. And so I'm not surprised. I am a little bit surprised because I thought maybe that Stafford and those guys would somehow, some way throw it up to Puka Nacua and he would somehow come away with it and score because he's such a big guy and a big player. But, all hats off to the coaching staff and the way they called that game. That was a good one.
Yeah, but you look at all the third downs. They didn't have a single third down.
True.
So, I mean, the Hawks were 6 of 9, and I think the Rams were 0 for 7. Now, the Rams made it up for it because they were getting first downs on one throw.
Yeah.
They were just taking chunks out of our defense, which is one of the problems that we have, and I've seen it all year, is that zone defense, you can get by it if you scheme properly. But when it gets that short field and you're in that red zone, instead of getting touchdowns, we may give up a field goal or two.
Yeah, no, that's true. And you got to, but on the flip side of that, when you look at, when you've got Puka Nacua and then you got Devontae Adams, that even though you can say he might be getting close to being out of his prime, the thing is that you throw it anywhere close to his hands, he's going to catch the football. Yeah. And so with them two, you never are out of a game if you're down one score and you've got a minute or so left on the clock because those guys can do it.
The Rams played a hell of a game. And, if the ball would have bounced in, another direction, it could have been their game easily. Easily. I mean, they were going to take the lead on that fourth down, and we just covered it a little bit better.
Yep.
That was the game, basically, right there. But the whole game, a complete game, I was happy with the outcome, obviously. But if the Rams had beat us, I wouldn't have, hated the Hawks for it. I would have congratulated the Rams for playing a hard game and then cheered for them, unfortunately, in the Super Bowl against whoever.
Yeah, well, I don't think the Seahawks are going to have too much trouble. I mean, I still don't have my pick in yet, but I'm just thinking that Seattle is looking really good. But you really can't judge those Patriots because they were playing in a blizzard. So I'm going to leave it with that.
Well, I mean, I was looking at the whole season. Their whole right side is suspect, so just wait till Murphy and Leonard get a chance to go in there and wreck on that guard, man. He is no good.
Well, just so you know, I do have a message out to one of the defensive linemen, number 90, Jared Reed, that used to play for the University of Alabama, that he might be coming on the show from a phone line. So just make sure you listen, especially if they win.
Oh, dude, I was so disappointed when he was injured for so long. When we got him back, it was like the floodgates opened. I was like, now we're ready. Now we're ready for that Super Bowl run. So,
well, I'll tell you what, he's a good one. He's a good run stopper. Well, we sure do appreciate the call, and we did not know Big Nate was a big Seahawks fan, so that's awesome, my friend.
You do now, baby.
That's right. Well, we appreciate the call, Nate. Have a good night, man. We appreciate the content.
All right, peace out, PC.
Yes, sir. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more of the playoffs. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. The magic plays here.
Couple of fakes outside Wagner. The pump and drive back to back. For the flies.
Tonight, it's the Magic versus the Cavaliers. Tip-off at 6 right here.
Your new home for select Orlando Magic games. The NBA is on. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Ask for special ESPN Northwest Florida pricing.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national titles.
The rack. Layup good and one. Up for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. It's the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Catch select Florida Gator basketball games on 104.3 ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Sports Blitz. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad to have you today listening in from wherever you are, just as long as it is warm in your vehicle or maybe in your residence. But either way, so good to have you here. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. The Red 7T's, that place for all things custom. What's up, Jim?
Now, Paul, you asked me a question during the break. Mm-hmm. And it was which teams have the most Ohio State players?
Yeah.
and it's the Browns and the Cardinals. And that was not that's not the answer you were expecting.
Well, they got a good chance of getting more of them then, because they're drafting high.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was asking that is because obviously there's always the big deal about playing up north. It's always been a thing between the Big Ten and the SEC is, Alabama or Georgia, y'all are all tough until y'all come. Why don't you come in November and play in the big house, or come to November and play? And that's fine. But what I'm getting at is that a lot of these NFL teams, I'm sure there are Big Ten players on the Miami Dolphins. I'm sure there's Big Ten players on the Jaguars. I'm sure Saints, all of them. And the flip-flop of that as well. There's teams that are playing for Pittsburgh and for the Eagles and the Bears and Cleveland and all of that has SEC players that are learning how to play in the cold. So I just wanted to kind of make that point.
So let me flip it on you. You ready? So is the Browns and the Cardinals in Arizona. So you got Northerners playing down in the heat and everything in Arizona. Where are the most Alabama players?
I don't know.
I'm looking at it right
Eagles.
now. Yeah, that's good, but look at the next.
That's up north in the cold.
Yeah, but
Georgia
but look at the next three. This doesn't bode well.
What is it?
Well, Texans are fine. Cleveland Browns and Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
There you go.
Now,
those were our backups.
You ready for the next one? Now, Brian just left, and he's a Longhorn. Denver Broncos, 6 of them.
Have the most Texas players.
Most Texas Longhorns.
So, see, if you look at it, it really doesn't matter where you went to college or where you grew up or where your high school is. It's just where you play.
And repeatedly, I'll be following a player like Reggie White. Yeah. And he went from Philly to the Packers, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, what is he doing? Why did he come down south? You know what? Well, he likes the cold weather, and there's been multiple players like that. I'm like, they stay up north, and I'm like, what are they doing? And they don't want to come home. It's weird.
It's because they get more sacks up there because the quarterbacks can't move around in the snow. There you go. If you look at it, you got Myles Garrett and you got Reggie White. They both playing in slow atmospheres.
Gastineau was in New York.
There you go. But we're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Matt on the line from Weewall. Matt, what is going on, my friend?
Well, I'm just basking in the glow of our win yesterday.
Come on.
I'm a big New England Patriots fan, originally from Maine, and Mike Vrabel coming in, he was always one of my favorite players, and to see what he's doing, done with the team in just 1 year. I went to the Saints game this year. I think we really have a shot at winning it all. You get him in a nice weather game. He throws one of the most beautiful long balls. Don't be surprised if the Patriots pull this out.
Well, Matt, I'll tell you this. I never would have thought by talking to you that you were from anywhere but South, Florida with your accent for sure. But secondary, you got a big point, because if you even look at some of the balls that he threw yesterday in that cold, the kid has a bazooka for an arm. And so the fact is that we didn't see the exact ability that they have on the offensive side of the ball due to the conditions. I mean, both teams just were not able to move the football once it started blowing sideways. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Patriots, with their coaching staff, with the experience they have, and the things that they've been able to overcome, and the things that they can do that are good. I mean, you're talking about, we're not talking about a bunch of rookies here. These guys have been playing NFL football. They had a full schedule this year. And no, I mean, they might be the underdog, but it ain't going to be, when that coin's flipped and whoever gets the first kickoff, now you got to play between the lines. So I don't think there's one way or the other that thinks the Patriots, number one, don't deserve to be there, but number two, that they're just going to be happy to be there. I think they're going to push past that.
Well, what's even scarier, the Patriots have 12 picks in the upcoming draft.
Wow.
We're going to be picking late in the rounds, but, if we can work some deals and load up that roster even more. We missed out on a lot of free agents this last year because they weren't sure about coming to New England how good Drake May was going to be. Now that they've seen what's going on, I think free agency, we've still got a lot of money to spend. I think we had $60 million left on the cap this year. Drake May, we can't even extend his deal until 2027. So he's getting that low pay. This roster could get stacked, and we could be, contending for championships for a while, which, man, it's good to be back.
Well, I'll tell you this: a lot of the hate that the Patriots get for their dominance and all of that. I mean, realistically, I think they glean in that. I think they love that. I think they like it. It seems like to me that Drake May is one of those kind of guys too. There's a big, so to say, about how him and his wife were reacting. He just kind of had a frown on his face, and so he kind of takes on that mantle of, I'm not satisfied till we win it.
Exactly.
Well, y'all give me well rested because you only played half of a game. And to be honest with you, May is probably the third player that I was most impressed with from the weekend. It's really Kenneth Walker III, the running back for the Seahawks. And then I knew Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knew he was good, but he was a coming out party along with Walker this last weekend.
You can't forget Puka.
Yeah, he was good too. Yeah, he was real good. Well, Matt, we sure do appreciate the call, man, and we definitely want to hear from you on the next weeks coming up to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I love the show, guys, so I'll be calling in.
Thank you so much, Matt. So I wanted to, before we take the break, I want to get back to this. Do you feel like the NFL can't step in and do something? They're subsidized by the U.S. government, all right? And what they could do is, what I'm saying is, as long as it's not the snowing effect, couldn't they redo some of the stadiums? Couldn't they? I know Chicago is getting ready to do something with their stadium to build a new one. Yeah, and so that's going to be one that's going to be taken. But I really think that they should do something with the retractable roofs. I think if they could do that, because I think, moving away from being able to have home field advantage is not something that they should do at all. I think they should get the home field. It's theirs. They deserved it. They've done everything they're supposed to do to get it. But I think the NFL should be able to step in and help them get to the point to where if it gets to a certain level, they can at least close it a little bit. You don't have to have full closure. You don't have to have a full dome. And maybe I'm just talking out of my head right now, but I just feel like let the smarter heads get together. That way you could have a better game, because I haven't talked to anyone, and I haven't seen anyone that said, man, that was just fantastic. I loved it. I love seeing slipping on snow. I love seeing just handing it off right to the left. I love not being able to see the game. I loved how the NFL highlighted the field and whenever they highlighted the numbers, it took the legs off of the players so you couldn't see them. That was fantastic. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was really a problem, and it was not fun to watch. It was not what we expected, and it wasn't about how cold it was. It was about how miserable the conditions of the field were. And so, maybe if they could do something with the field, or if they could do some kind of retractable roof.
Okay, I'll agree with what Brian said. They could have moved up the game an hour and a half and got out of that, because it wasn't the prep before the game, because it didn't snow until second half. So just move it up and get it out from that window of time where we know the sun. Meteorology's come so far.
Yeah.
And we know exactly when it's going to precipitate.
I'm going to push against that, because what is the NFL there to do? It's entertainment, right? It's about making money. So they've already sold all of the commercials. They've already sold all the things that they were doing.
It needs to be in prime time.
It would have to be at the time that they promised, and that's where they're going to do.
I'll push back. Most of the season is at 12 and 3 o'clock Central Time, and these games were at what, 1:30 and 5:30?
It was 3:30.
2:30. 2:30 and 5:30, yeah.
Eastern time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, The problem with the NFL jumping in on this is the cost of these stadiums is exorbitant.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that's happening, if you think about it, when's the last football stadium you saw get built that didn't include some level of enclosure? It's been a while.
It's been L.A.?
L.A. has one. I mean, L.A. is essentially closed. I think it's
Vegas
open,
is the same
kind
way.
of open air at the top, but it's covered. Okay. That's what they're all going to, and the main reason for that is, number one, they want the ability to host the Super Bowl and other mega events. If the cities are going to be on the hook for billions of dollars, then they want the ability to bring things to their city, not just some home football games, which are big, but they want to be able to host the Taylor Swift concerts and the Super Bowl and all these other things, and they want to control the conditions in order to do that. So in a way, it's going to take care of itself, but it's going to take a while, because we were talking during the break, there's a lot of open-air stadiums.
Yeah, a bunch.
Up north, and you know, you've already got to fight every time the team wants a new stadium. They have to threaten to leave because the city rightfully doesn't want to put the taxpayers on the hook for billions and billions of dollars.
Two of them up north that are doing it right now. Yeah. Cleveland's fighting back against, because they're getting outside of the city of Cleveland and going a little southwest, right next to the airport.
Yeah.
Chicago, they bought property in Arlington Heights on the north side of town, and now they're talking about going to Indiana. And the city's freaking out, and they're like, well, look at what the state's going to tax us. You know, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and Cleveland's trying to fight back, and Chicago's trying to fight back, and I just think that these cities need to get smart.
Well, and the thing is like everybody can get on the same page and watch that second half and say there's no possible way that anybody enjoyed this. Yeah. Even the fans didn't enjoy it as much as it was not loud. There wasn't as much of a home field advantage. Yes, you could hear them a little bit, but it was not even comparable of what you heard that second game, which had no problems with the weather.
It takes a significant portion of the game as it's played today out. 40 years ago, wouldn't be that big a deal.
Right.
Because it was a predominantly running league. You know, you had a couple of guys who could sling it, but there weren't a lot of teams doing that. It was a predominantly running league. And so you really didn't change the game that much. You just may have changed from your little scat back to the 230-pound bruiser.
Yeah.
You know, a lot more Franco Harris than Mercury Morris, you know, when the weather turned like that. But nowadays, you're taking a significant portion of the way the game is played week in and week out of play.
Yeah.
And in the most important games, too. So.
I think it's going to be interesting to see moving forward, because I haven't seen a game like that in a long time, if ever, that where I remembered like how bad it was affected.
What was
really
the one where they came out and they plowed the area for the guy to kick the field goal? I mean,
that was against the
20 years.
No, 40 years.
Has it been that long?
It was the Dolphins lost to the Patriots in 84
it would have been in the 80s,
like
I guess.
And they plowed it just for the field goal, and they won 3-0.
Yeah, everybody went nuts.
And I remember that because I'm a Dolphins fan. But the other one I remember was in Chicago, the fog against the Eagles in the playoffs. You couldn't see the game.
Couldn't see a thing.
On TV.
It was awful.
Well, I mean, in 84, I figured, you know, both of you guys were almost adults. I wasn't even hardly born, so I didn't know what y'all were talking about. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our...
shows.
Yeah, that's fine. We're going to take our break, and when we come back, we got to talk about Ole Miss. Dabo Sweeney. What you think about what's going on with those guys? Jeez. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
You can't fix stupid, but you can divorce it.
The new Sports Blitz. Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming.
And on behalf of 70% of the Alabama fan base,
feel the burn.
We want a damn divorce.
The Red 7T studio line.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
He has not turned the ball over.
Get in the game.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a wind around 20 miles per hour out of the north with gusts around 29 miles per hour and 46. Tonight, look for a blustery wind and clear skies with a temperature near 29. Tomorrow, a high around 48 and sunshine. Wednesday, warm with a high of 52 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay-down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
WGSX Lynn 8 and WVLQ Port St. Joe. Panama City's home for Super Bowl 60. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
The Blaze are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Catch select Florida Gator basketball games on 104.3 ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the new Sports Blitz. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290. The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 5 o'clock on a Monday, and it's chilly right here in the Panhandle. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right now at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you so much for listening today. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got Jeffrey here, got Brian here. Bone Crusher is in the building. Don't forget, you want to be a part of the show, you can be. 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. Your place for custom apparel in the Panhandle. Check them out on Facebook and also on the internet. That's a very good place to find stuff, the internet. But be careful, because if you find stuff that you shouldn't, then you might get in trouble. But either way, speaking of the internet, as we went off of the air on Friday, expecting to get to talk about on Monday some good NFL playoffs, and we have done that. Guys, we've got to get into some college football. I know the season's over.
No, it's just starting.
It's now going crazy. Dabo Sweeney, whatever you want to call him, call him good old Snitch Sweeney now, because now his player that was on his team, that was there as a transfer, has been poached by little old Ole Miss Rebels down by Pete Golden. And guys, I don't know. It's crazy. Dabo did not pull any punches. He definitely said the names. I can't believe it. I thought he would probably just say, you know, the team. I didn't think he would call Coach Golden out like he did. He called him Coach Golden. Then he called him Pete. And so I listened to the whole press conference. And so basically what we have is a little bit of what you would call tampering. And I'm just wondering, number one, what do you guys think about it?
the first thing. The second thing is that will the NCAA step in and do anything about it? Because if they don't, we've got a new precedent set it. And if they don't mess with them and they don't let them off the hook, if they let them off the hook, then now we're going to see everybody doing what they did, but probably worse. Brian, I'll let you go first.
There's so many layers to this. First of all, I'm glad it's the week of the Royal Rumble here because Dabo came off the top rope on this one.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm glad he did, honestly. It does need to be exposed. Now, whether or not you believe they should enforce rules on tampering or whether you believe these guys should be able to constantly negotiate, whatever. But I like the fact that we're at least seeing what goes on, and we got receipts.
Yep.
And we got names. There's a lot that was troubling about this. Now, I don't like if you've signed a contract and then I don't mind so much if Pete Golding says, look, we'd love you at Ole Miss.
Right.
All right, if that's all it is, fine. I mean, yeah, that's tampering, yeah, that's recruiting, whatever, fine, but that doesn't bother me that much. When you get the agent involved and you start actively seeking ways to break a legally binding contract, now that is problematic. When you are constantly harassing someone who is already enrolled in your school, that's problematic. So those are the things that bother me. That I was telling you guys before we came back on, the part of that story that bothered me the most wasn't Ole Miss. It was a kid's agent.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So here's what bothered me. So the kid's agent says to Dabo, because he's using it as a negotiating ploy, is his job, we'll put him in case with lawyers. Sorry, lawyers, but that's how I think of all of you. But what he did was he said, look, I got all the text messages, and I'll give them to you to use if you add another year to his deal. It's extortion.
Yeah.
It is. That's the part I just couldn't get over. And the problem is no one's even looking at that. That's what's so problematic to me is the way that these agents are doing everything there. Now, to your point, will the NCAA step in? They actually have been trying to step in. Mm-hmm. First time in my life I think I've ever uttered this phrase. I feel bad for the NCAA because they've tried to step in lately and they keep getting usurped by going through the courts. Mm. And if this guy makes the move complete and all that, that's where this is going to end up.
Yeah, it's going to do that. Jeffrey, what do you think about it? And do you like the fact that he was already enrolled and went to class?
Yeah, I mean, he needs to be there this whole semester. And then you can't even practice with Ole Miss if you're stuck. I don't say stuck, but yeah, stuck at Clemson, And Lane Kiffin's villain number one. What is Golden trying to do? Little Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's right.
And what Brian's saying about lawyers, I mean, come on. Lawyers are straight up and up.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, though. When you look at how it's coming out, does it shock you that it's, okay, what was the buyout? That's the first text.
Yeah.
Then the second text was, we'll double it. I mean, does that surprise you that's what we all thought it in our brains that this is what was really happening? But when you see it on a text message, it kind of puts it out there that this is really happening.
Where is Ole Miss getting all this money? I mean, is there one?
There's money.
There's collectives.
So it's people and not companies.
Well, I think it's a little of both. But here's what you have to understand: with the way Dabo is approaching this, is not strictly from the perspective of I've got a contracted player here. Dabo at this point is in the range of the elder statesman in the profession.
Right.
He's done this at a high level for a very long time. He's got national championships. And what Dabo is doing, I appreciate as having I never coached football, but having coached, I do think it is important. And what he's doing is not just going after Pete Golding, but he's telling all young coaches there are right ways to do things and wrong ways to do things. Now, will anybody listen? I don't know. Probably won't. Maybe they'll just say, old guy living in the past, whatever. Maybe he is. But I'm glad that he, decided to, because it is unethical as a coach to do that. That's in the unwritten rules and in some cases the actual written rules. But I'm glad I guarantee you Dabo called Pete Golding first. And if he felt like he got, or at least they talked to the AD, which was what it sounded like, and the AD said Pete does what Pete does. I think he was just cast him off. And then that's when Dabo went public. Because I guarantee you, knowing kind of the coach that he is, he would have tried to have handled that man-to-man first. Mm-hmm. He would have been very direct, don't get me wrong. But he went public when he felt like, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to air something I think is wrong.
Mm-hmm. And when he opened it up with using the name, because usually, like you said, there's usually a gentleman's club. This is, we're all head football coaches here. We have a certain way of doing things. And when I feel like that once he saw the actual text messages, and I'm sure that there's more to some of that, and I think when you get to it, you're probably going to see that if they open all of them up, there's going to be downtrodden talk about Clemson, about Dabo, about the programs, and which all of them do it. I get it. What makes us stand out? Well, we got a better future coming. Pete Golden's going to be the future. Dabo Sweeney, he's already had his time. He's over the hill. He's about to be whatever. So there's always that push and pull towards who's better anyway. But when you start doing it this way, it's a little bit different than what we've seen. Now, the thing about this ironic and kind of brings it close to home, and we've had Adam Land here, which played at Mosley, and he, right before we had him and Carson Griffin in, both Division I prospects or Division I signees, they both came in studio, and Adam told us the day before signing day where you actually commit and sign, Ole Miss called him on the phone and offered him more money. And then he also called the dad and offered the dad more money. Jason's his name. And so with that being said, this is not a surprise, because I'm thinking, wow, because the one thing about that Pete Golden and them guys are doing, and this is what Coach Tommy Joe said, was he said that they did not even know that Adam was going through a ACL injury. They had no idea. Yeah. All they were doing was looking that Mississippi State had went after this kid, had signed him. He was a big kid. He was a 4-star, and they just blindly offered him more money. So that lets me know, too, that there's more money going involved with Oxford.
Here's the difference, though. He hadn't signed yet.
True. No, I'm not saying it's the same.
There's a huge difference in that.
I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm saying
I'm happy to light Oxford on fire any chance I get.
Well, they sound like they're late to the party, because they're doing last-second thing with Adam, and they're doing the last-second thing with this linebacker.
Well, to be fair, that was probably right in the middle of all the Kiffin stuff, too. So I'm sure they had a lot going on.
And they were playing in the playoffs, whereas the other two, so they definitely are late to the party.
Here's what I can just imagine being in Dabo Sweeney's mind when this is going on. Now, remember, this is the last guy to, I'm not sure embrace is still the right word, but to participate in the whole transfer
He's there.
portal.
I don't know.
He fought it kicking and screaming and to his own detriment. Now he's come around. He's actually gone out there, embraced it, done it, gone and gotten a guy, signed him. He knows, I got to go through this in a year again. I hate this whole system. And 2 weeks later, a guy who he just signed, who he figured, well, I got him for at least a year. Now he's having to do this. It's like I have to recruit the players I've already got on campus every single day. This is nonsense. This is no way to coach football. All of that's in his head as this is going on.
And now he's seeing his mentor, or somebody that he would look to, which is Coach Saban. Now he realizes why Coach Saban got out of the game, and that's why. And if you look at it all across the board, you're going to have this kind of stuff. Now, let me ask y'all this. When you look at now Pete Golden being his first year, he did what he did, taking his team to the second round of the playoff, being able to beat Georgia. That was a big deal. Do you think
third round?
Yeah, but okay, thank you.
You're not going to count the Tulane win. Apparently.
No.
It's the third round. Tulane. They went to the third round.
I mean, they did, but I mean, you know. But let me.
It's Tulane. I get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to offend you. I know they're from Louisiana. No. It's okay. But let me ask y'all this. Moving forward for Pete Golden and the Ole Miss program, are they now going to be the I don't know how you would call it, are they going to be the bad guys in the conference? Are they going to be the bad guys of college football? And with that being said, if yes is the answer, do you think now that Pete Golden adopts the whole us against the world mentality because of the way, they're going about it? You see what I'm saying? Because that's a big thing for Ole Miss, because they've always just been a school that has had flashes of goodness. Now they make it to the playoffs. They beat Tulane, then they beat Georgia. Now they're playing on the high level, and then now something, boom, comes out like this. The AD probably does what you say, which is we're sticking by our coach. Pete does what Pete wants type deal. Are we going to see that now with Ole Miss coming out? Are they going to be the bad guys of the SEC?
Most of the time, the bad guys of any conference will be the second-tier teams because they have to play catch-up.
Well, it is, but also Ole Miss is definitely approaching this from the mindset of the Blue Bloods don't want us here. They feel like they liked us right on the edge of making the playoffs. That's where you guys belong.
Right.
And it was kind of, if you watch the old SMU 30 for 30, it's kind of the same thing. Yep. It's like, wait a minute, why are these guys in the mix here? Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Yeah, it was.
But it was that mentality. It's like, stay in your place like that. So the other thing we have to consider here is if I'm Pete Golding, I have heard all of the talk that you and I have given, and that we don't really think he's a great head coaching candidate. Thought he did a good job through the playoff. But we haven't really, you don't think Pete Golding has heard all of that for all of these years?
I'm sure.
I guarantee he's like, I have my chance. I'm doing absolutely everything and anything I can to keep this gig because no one out there wants me to succeed. Because none of them think I should be in this position. They think I was born on third base with the way that this thing played out. So you know what? To hell with them. I'm just going to do whatever I can to keep this as long as I can.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of schools like that, Nebraska and Tennessee included.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go to the Facebook page. Otis Reed, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And then Ty of Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair says, can't embrace us against everybody when you did it to yourself and the underhanded tactics. And that's where Ole Miss belongs, and that's right where they'll go back to, which is...
I love when people outflank me on Ole Miss hatred. I love it. But
underhanded tactics. This is a person who had the sign stealing.
The irony.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
That's funny.
You're pulling away, because the first thing he said when he joined the conversation was, he's glad to see Big Ten Jeff's here. And so now I'm not so sure if Big Ten Jeff is coming back or if LSU Jeff is back in the building.
The irony in it for me is hysterical in that this is what Dabo went through at Clemson.
Yes.
It was kind of like, what are you guys doing here? Y'all are stay in your place here a little bit. And he broke through. It's like, absolutely not. We're going to go out. We're going to outwork you in recruiting. We're going to put a team together, and we're going to outplay you. The problem is the landscape shifted, and he didn't shift with it.
Right.
But I guarantee you that's why he has such righteous indignation in his press conference the other day, because he's like, I went through this. I was the guy no one thought should be here and all like that. And you know what? I did it the right way.
Right.
Now, whether or not he's dying on a moral hill or not, I don't know. But that's how he feels.
Yeah, and every single coach, let's don't get it twisted. And I'm not a Pete Golden fan at any stretch, but let's don't get it twisted. Every single coach in college football has had their teams talk to the recruits in a backhanded kind of way. They all do it. There's all tampering. They do it in the games when they play each other. They have a cousin that has a brother that lives next door. Yeah. They all talk. They all do that. But where Pete Golden did it, it was way past that line.
Now, see, I'm not even sure that's true. I love, like I said, I'm not an Ole Miss lover. I'm not a Pete Golding lover. I can tell you this. Right now in college football, there are way more Pete Goldings than there are Dabo Sweeneys in terms of the way this is falling. And the fact I don't think he's doing it worse than anybody. In fact, he may not be doing it as bad as some are. The difference is he got called out by name.
Right.
That's what's different in this deal.
They usually allow, they say a more of a cordial, but him calling him out and saying his name twice, that is the line we've never seen drawn, and so I'm excited about it. I want to see what the NCAA is going to do. I want to see if there's anything they can do. I don't know if they're going to be handcuffed. I don't know how it's all going to work.
But remember, Pete Golding is coming off of just a week ago, his entire locker room getting nuked by what we think was Lane Kiffin leaking all their NIL deals.
True.
I understand the mindset
Louisiana
of him, too.
people.
Who's the Louisiana people?
That's the thing.
Golding's from Louisiana.
I know.
That's the thing
what I'm saying. All these bad Louisiana people.
That's what's so hard in this. I actually understand where both of them are coming from. I tend to lean more on the Dabo side of things. But you have to, you have to somewhat sympathize with what Pete Golding has gone through in the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's really true. That's valid. But still, man, it's a bad look for Ole Miss. It's a bad look for Pete Golding. And
they win again, it won't matter.
Yeah, if they win, because that's really how it works. Winning pushes a lot of stuff back. But anyway, either way. But you know who wins? AutoNation Ford in Panama City, 730 West 15th Street. Those guys will get you going right there by the railroad tracks. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, a used vehicle, or if your vehicle needs service, go see those guys. They'll take care of you. Get in there, get you an appointment, get them to diagnose anything that might be going on. I'll tell you this, you need your heater working, so make sure that heat is ready to blow because this week is going to be frigid. Another deal, go see Brandon and Recommended Collision Center right there on Jinx Avenue, right by the railroad tracks. It's like everywhere but Panama City, there's railroad tracks everywhere, as you can see. So either way, go see them. Recommended Collision Center. They'll take care of you. I'm looking forward to Brandon coming in on Wednesday and seeing what he thinks about the playoffs. So either way, when we come back, we are going to be talking to the captain. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For tonight, clear and a low of 27 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the north. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a blustery wind and above freezing near 37. Sunny and 49 in the afternoon and evening. 52 and mostly sunshine with a gentle breeze Wednesday. Thursday, mostly sunshine and a temperature about the same at 55. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at
ESPN Northwest Florida
wheelhousedba.com.
advertisers get results.
Hi, this is Todd from PCB Hobby on Back Beach. Advertising with ESPN Northwest Florida has been a wonderful experience. Their staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. If you want to talk with customers like you never thought possible, reach out to the team at ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
The phone lines are open, the opinions are flowing, and the arguments are just getting started.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities. With just one loss, they can sneak in there. They're playing championship football.
The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is back, and we're putting you in the game.
He has not turned the ball over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, your spot for Super Bowl 60 and your Orlando Magic basketball. Don't forget tonight after the show, the Magic going to be playing some more basketball. Got to get in the win column. Either way, you want to be a part of the show, you can be. 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Your place for the custom apparel in the Panhandle. We're so pumped up and ready to go. I'm so beside myself. We got the captain finally back in the building. He's been loaned out to Orlando, and now he's back in Panama City Beach. Welcome home, Captain. How you doing today?
Happy Monday, everybody. Doing good. Just got back from Orlando. Funny thing. The build-out is going fantastic.
Awesome.
So I want to give everybody an update. They have tore out the space. It's 2,100 square feet. They've tore it out. It's a vanilla box now, and they're starting to rebuild it. They're putting the ceiling in, which the grid's already there, but we're putting the black ceiling tiles in, putting the wallboards up, putting the floor in, painting, doing all that, building a little office, stuff like that. So it's going really well. Bill and I got to go down there, actually, so that was good. We got to go hang out over Saturday and Saturday night. Got to go to all-you-can-eat lobster at Boston Lobster Feast.
Nice.
Shout out.
There you go.
If you haven't been there and you love lobster and seafood, you better go. Anyways, we had a good time. Smoked a cigar and, made it back. Saw a collection on the way back of comics, picked up some stuff, as always. We're always out there buying, perusing the country. Got another deal on its way, and went and picked up a small deal today after I went to the shop. So, speaking of the shop, we have been crazy. If you haven't seen Spot for Silver and Gold, you must be living under a rock because it is through the roof.
Yeah.
It's through the roof. So,
and that's what I was going to say is for the first time, it's not that I don't ever want to shout out. I'm going to shout out Emma and Drew by name at the shop because for once, you are not necessarily the hardest working guy in the shop this week because those guys dealing with coin and bullion stuff this week. Wow. It's been something else. And they did a wonderful job dealing with a lot of people. You would think if silver hits this big milestone crossing 100, gold crosses 5,000, everybody just being sell. We've had plenty of that. We've had a lot of people coming in to buy too.
Yeah.
And so it has been nonstop making sure, we're trying to have inventory for people for when they want to buy, and then so it's been crazy. But Emma, Drew specifically, but we have plenty of other people at the shop to shout out. But those two specifically have certainly earned their keep here.
Well, the stream has been crazy too, and so last week, there was a big pop in silver, and we ran some silver and gold on the stream. And it went really well. A lot of people loading up. And the funny thing is, some of those people haven't even gotten their packages yet, and they're up $10, $15 a coin, which is really cool because they'll come on the chat and be like, guys, get it now because I'm already up $10 and I don't even have my package yet. It's on its way. So it's just been, it's been crazy. And like he said, Emma and Drew have been doing a fantastic job. I had to go over there Friday even to help because they were so busy with people and run money around and, all this stuff, bring some of the silver back to our streaming guys. I mean, it's just back and forth.
Yeah, bring some of that money back here. It's fine. Let me ask you a question.
How about no?
Let me ask you. Metal detector just goes off.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So, like for the elementary person that might have coins at home, or maybe they have some silver jewelry that they just have, or are you guys interested for them to bring that in and look anything that's gold, anything that's silver right now?
Silver jewelry is going to be sterling. We really don't buy much of it, and the reason why is pretty much the big boys are not accepting it right now because it's harder to refine actually sterling silver because it's not pure. And so since it's harder to refine, it takes longer. Well, if it takes longer, then it takes A, longer to get your money from them, and then B, it takes longer to refine, harder of a process. So they're just like, we're shutting it off for that. 999 will take all day long. So that's pure. 99.9%. And so for the layperson, the answer is basically yes. Anything that has intrinsic value of silver or gold in it, bring in, we're interested. But that's not all that's going on. I mean, people are buying it like Brian said. So, I saw 10 I think it was 10-ounce silver bars come in today when I was over there, and they're probably gone today already.
Yeah.
Somebody coming in buying them, and it's just so up and down. It got as high as 117, I think, and then it dropped back down to 103, which is what it started at today. So it's really no loss, but there's hype there. It's going up, going down, going up, going down. So it's hard to, and I don't want the whole show to be about gold and silver. While it's exciting and neat, and this is the first time ever it's been this high, the fact of the matter is that it is a big part of our business.
Yeah, so. And that's what's cool. And Brian, I'm sure you're going to tell us what's coming out and what's going on with the card market. And then tell us, I know you had said last week, we had talked about it, and you wasn't here for this, but were you able to go through some of the autographs and some of the memorabilia that you guys had purchased? And do you have any of those that you got new it's in the shop that you want to tell everybody?
We don't necessarily have anything new in terms of the memorabilia front. We're actually trying to. We have so many different tiers of memorabilia from a couple of collections that we've gotten. We're trying to right now allocate what we want to strengthen the certificate of authenticity on, what we're going to run with as is, who are players that will sell in our shop versus who are people that we will run on a stream. So we're almost there with that kind of stuff. Just to put the last button on the silver and gold, we've actually had several instances in the last week where people have come in and sold silver and then gone and bought sports cards with it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, on the sports card front, unfortunately, we weren't able to get up to Atlanta with the ice coming in this weekend, but we actually had a couple of collections come in. In fact, I got one coming into town tomorrow with a guy who's coming in for a coin deal, so I need to tell you about that afterwards.
I do know about that one.
So we're going to look at that. We're working on a couple others. So singles-wise, we actually have a lot of new, great, inventory that maybe we didn't think we'd have. We thought we'd have picked up at the Atlanta show. But from a wax perspective, new product, this is the time of year. Topps is trying to roll out all of the baseball that basketball kind of set them back on, and we're less than a month away from 2026 baseball. So this week, Optic football is now running. Blasters in the shop. That's always a big chase. Everybody going for the downtowns. And it's going to be the last year of Optic football for Panini where it's got the license. So that has come out. Bowman Draft Baseball Megas are in on Wednesday. Now, that is an affordable level. Bowman Draft typically only comes out at like the $500 and up box level. Well, the Megas should be $100 or less. And that's something they've never done before.
Wow.
So you can get some of these draft picks and all like that, get their first Bowmans. Those will be out on Wednesday. Topps Midnight Basketball drops later in the week. It's a higher end card quality. Of course, now they have the license. Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, all of those guys, plus all the vets, Steph and LeBron. So that's a huge release. Then you start getting into next week, you've got Pristine Baseball. The week after that, you've got Museum Club Baseball. The week after that, you have Series 1 Baseball for 2026. You have a WWE set coming. We've just had UFC coming. Stadium Club Chrome English Premier League Soccer is coming. Oh, by the way, Prism Football comes out in a week. It is unbelievable. And we do have blasters of those already running. It's unbelievable how many products are coming out now, and they're good quality products, so it's a lot of fun. We got people ripping all different kind of things in the shop right now, and it's just an exciting time to be involved in collectibles.
Let me ask you this. The Super Bowl is coming up, and obviously the most important people that are on a football team most of the time is your quarterback. It's going to be who your star, the face. Now, we know that Drake May's value cards are pretty good. And then now they have I saw a couple of videos I watched over the weekend where after they won, they saw a little bit of a uptick. So talk about that, and then talk a little bit about, for the fans that's got some Drake May, should they hold now? Should they sell now? Kind of where they are with that. And then the second question to that would be, why does Sam Darnold not get the love? He doesn't get the love of Josh Allen. He doesn't get the love that these other guys have done, obviously, because Josh Allen's great and all that, MVP. But now that he's going to be the only quarterback in that draft class that has made it to the Super Bowl. So are we going to see Sam Darnold stuff going?
All right, first question. Let me show you where Drake May's cards are. They are through the roof, literally. Big bump up, and everybody's gone all in. Now, this does happen at times, but it happened with C.J. Stroud. They made the playoffs. Happened with Jaden Daniels. They got the championship game. What often doesn't happen is the Big Chase rookie goes to the Super Bowl. Now, I know it's his second year, but from the 2024 class, he's the guy, and it has gone insane. So if you're asking me, Todd and I have agreed on this forever, I would not. A lot of people are going to make the mistake of waiting until after the Super Bowl. The problem with that is, let's assume he wins it. Theoretically, it should be worth more, right? Here's what you're not accounting for. There's too many other people who have that idea, and a flood of supply.
Right.
Will hit the market.
It's going to hit the market.
If I have Drake May, I'm selling him today.
Correct. Before. Yeah, you sell before. And also, to answer your question about Sam Darnold, okay, how long has he been in the league?
2018 was his rookie year.
Okay.
Right.
So
seven, 8 years. It's the seventh year. It's too long. You have to be a first, second, or third year rookie type thing to hit the Super Bowl to have stardom. Once you're past a certain amount, you'll never get the love.
And there's an added wrinkle with Darnold. Now, if you look back to 18, it was a quarterback-heavy class.
Right. Yep.
Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Josh Allen.
Right.
Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Sam Darnold was not hyped.
Right.
And expected to do things. And as dumb as it sounds, that plays.
It's too medium.
Over time.
It's too
if
medium.
Baker Mayfield, when he was having that run early in the season, his stuff was gone. Why? Because he was hyped originally.
Right. Yeah. That's it.
Darnold has gone up, but not anything like he should.
There was a problem with him, though, because he came from USC. We've had a long list of, Carson Palmer, whatever, but you had a long list of quarterbacks who did not work out.
That's right.
And for the Jets, who drafted him, there was the remnants of Mark Sanchez, who was also a USC guy who's known for the butt fumble. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he goes to the Panthers. So.
1 year, right?
Good year with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But then they moved him on because they saw a shinier new object that they had in J.J. McCarthy. How'd that turn out for you?
Brass.
And he goes to Seattle, and he's even better. And you would sit here and think at some point they're going to buy in. But not having that initial hype, I think, has
It'll never be superstardom. It'll never be superstardom.
Unless he does something crazy where
he'd
he
have to win 3 or 4.
He'd have to win 3. Right, exactly. That would be the whole point.
Until he got there.
To be fair, Seahawks by 14.
Wow, okay.
You got to remember now, this is a Pacific Northwest kind of guy.
All right.
Seahawks
That makes
by
sense.
14.
You're going to make definitely one of our callers happy for sure. We've already had both today.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got
we've
the
had
Pats and the Seahawk fan
Well,
already
the good news
calling.
is the Seahawk fan must be smart. I'm just saying.
Well, the Patriots fan lives in Weewaw.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
You're getting all the love today.
Bad decisions. No.
I just can't stand the Patriots. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Never get Tom Brady. Sorry. Love you, man.
Love your cards.
Love your cards, but don't love you. I mean, it's simple as that. Now he's opening sports.
I was going to say, now he's in the business. To heck with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Until he wants to come by.
Now, if he wants to come by and come by our shop, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, if he comes by.
Signature, something like that.
Yeah, he's coming to the show if he
All
comes
right,
to your
Tommy,
shop.
love you so much, brother.
That's right.
Just kidding.
Pats forever.
That's forever.
But I mean, it's been an interesting time. Super Bowl run-up is always very interesting. And there's actually, if you're really looking at this historically, there's a real opportunity now and for about the next 6 weeks. And don't look at the Super Bowl teams. Look at everybody else because all the interest is gone. And there's good buying opportunities on good players for next year because the run-up to the season starting is always insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's the summer. People are out of school. They're out going, spending money. They've paid off their Christmas bills for the most part by then. I mean, it's a great time. Now's the time where you can pick stuff up on the cheap. Guys who thought, well, we're going to go in on Josh Allen because this is the year he makes it to the Super Bowl or whatever. You can get them on the cheap now because they're dumping them, and they're making mistakes. You can take advantage of that by going and getting things at a good price and then moving them on later.
And if you look at it, wouldn't that also speak to these other guys that have been high on as well, like Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, even Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean,
as far as like down from what they were if they were in the playoffs or if they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, most of those have already dropped off.
I've always told people to be very diverse, and I think that would be the ticket is pick up 2 or 3 of this, 2 or 3 of that, 2 or 3 of this now.
That's right.
Right? Not who's in, but who's out. And pick up a few of this, few of that, few of this, few of that. Wait it out. And then when hype starts hyping again right before the season, whoever's hyped up, let them fly.
Yeah, that'll be the way the quick turn.
And what's so hard, everybody think, well, yeah, that makes so much logical sense, but the thing is, most people don't live their lives logically.
Right.
And you want to be on the train when it's rolling. And so I understand people who want to be buying, and I'm not saying you can't do well buying Drake May now or Sam Darnold now. You can. You got to play it a little tighter. But you know, for me, if you're looking at it from an investment side of things, you can't get caught up in the emotion of, I got to be on the train, because usually it means that train's already too far down the track. You should have gotten on at a different time, and things like that. And it's difficult, but, you know.
And those guys, when you talk about Burrow, is he going to Minnesota now? And if he does, what happens? Then you look at Lamar Jackson's going to have a new coach. And the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. How's he going to do once he comes back from the injury? And then the other flip of it is who's going to go, what is Mike McCarthy going to do with the Steelers? So all of these guys play into that.
Todd, we've seen this for years. And one of the things happening in NFL cards right now is you've seen a slight uptick with Michael Penix. Because who just went to Atlanta? Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
Offensive guy, good with quarterbacks. Now, he also has a history with Kirk Cousins, so I don't know if I'd be all in on Penix yet.
Right.
But you're seeing the same thing out of the Giants. Jackson Dart, Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors. There's excitement around the Giants because John Harbaugh is coming to town.
Yep.
So you are seeing a little bit of an uptick from the smart money reading that and going in.
To be fair, coaches do matter.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because, you know, you always sit there and say, well, if you have a star quarterback or you have the best wide receiver or you have this, but coaches do matter and the right coach matters. I don't want to get this into a college football, you know, thing, but let's be real. Alabama was so good for so many years because of Saban. I mean, Saban knew how to run a football team. He knew how to run the business.
Yeah.
And he knew how to run it right. And if you get the right coach in the right environment, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, I honestly believe that's why the Broncos did well, is because Peyton was there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because he's he's been to the Super Bowl, he's won a Super Bowl. I mean, he knows what to do, and he had the right players to do it in. Unfortunately, they didn't win. I mean, it is what it is. But they also had didn't they have their backup quarterback? I mean, they didn't even have their, right. So,
in the snow.
In the snow. So I get it. I get why they didn't win, but there's only so much you can do. But with the right players and the right coach, I think that they can do just about anything.
Now, I don't run it back on you on one thing that you said, though.
Okay.
You're talking about selling these players cards before the Super Bowl. There's one player I'm going to warn you against, and it's Jackson Smith and Jigba, because he's probably going to win, in my opinion, and he's a wide receiver for the Seahawks. He's going to win MVP, and you know what's going to happen with that value.
Yeah, there's one or two that are always that way. But if you talk about like a Sam Darnold or whatever, even if he wins, I wouldn't see much movement on that between today and if he wins.
I can tell you, if you look historically, and you can't go too far back, but let's say since 2022, you know, after the COVID craziness, let's say since 2022, when it's been more of a stable market in terms of trends following 2 or 3, 4 years. If you look at it, and 95% of the players involved in the Super Bowl, the time to sell for them was the week between the championship and the Super Bowl.
Wow.
In almost every single case.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the people listing them right now are going to be the winners.
But again,
to a lot of
don't forget, guy, if you're out there to collect and ride the hype just for fun, go do it.
Yeah, this
is
always
purely
a money game.
investing.
This is the investment game we're talking about.
Yeah, but most of them are going to be money chasing. I mean, that's what we're. A lot of them.
Some, not
a lot.
everybody. I mean, you got to remember. There's kids too.
Yeah.
And there's a younger crowd. You can't just make it about money for them.
Yeah.
You do have to make it about some love too.
Yeah.
Just
give us the address real quick because we're bust up against the break.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's 11939 Panama City Beach Parkway. Phone number is 850-320-8388. We're on Back Beach next to Florida Linens.
That's right.
And I will send you a bill, Florida Linens. And come see us. We're open Monday through Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6, and then we're open on Sunday from 12 to 6.
Awesome.
eBay Live.
eBay Live is big time.
PCB Hobby.
Yes, sir. We appreciate Todd coming in. When we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more about an NFL quarterback.
that you don't want to miss. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 70s studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Ask for special ESPN Northwest Florida pricing.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, your property. Tax attorney will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The magic plays here.
Couple of fakes outside Wagner. The pump and drive back to back.
Tonight, it's the Magic versus the Cavaliers. Tip-off at 6 right here.
Your new home for select Orlando Magic games. The NBA is on. ESPN Northwest Florida. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball. Don't forget, we have those games as well right after the show, but tonight it's going to be the Orlando Magic. Listen in at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. Going to go to the Red 70s and read a text. Jack says that who was the genius who decided to wear all white during the blizzard? I thought that was a funny thing, too. Jack, you're not lying there, because when you looked out there and you saw it blowing sideways, I mean, they kind of blended a little bit. I mean, outside of the little red and the blue, you could see nothing far as that goes. And then you look over at the orange, and it's just like, you can see the little ugly orange. That orange never fails.
No, the Patriots in white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. The white,
okay.
They were the Patriots. The Patriots were winning. Guys, we can't not talk about it.
I thought you were going to bring up the Alabama basketball thing.
We're not. We're probably going to talk about that tomorrow.
But real quick, by the way, that's been delayed 10 days, the hearing, for weather.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Nice. So he'll get another couple of games
court
before
is
the
usually
court.
held outside in Alabama.
Well, they're 0-1
just
with
like their bathrooms.
Yeah, no, it's not
Sorry.
very good.
I didn't mean to derail you.
That's okay. A good programming note for tomorrow. We will have in-house Gulf Coast State College basketball coach coming to visit to the first time on the show. So him and one of his players are going to come in, and I heard we got a little fake basketball go out there. I heard he's going to dunk on Jeffrey, just so you know. We might video
video. But either way,
he doesn't pick up G League players.
No.
Not like Bama.
But yeah, let's move on. So I gotta say it.
Oh God,
Shedeur Sanders,
oh God,
Pro Bowl quarterback, can now be added to his repertoire. Threw 7 touchdowns with 10 interceptions this year. That's right, you heard it first here. He had more interceptions than he did touchdowns. Obviously, the Pro Bowl game has a lot of non-significance to the normal football fan, except if you're there. I would assume that being there with all the pro football players and them playing around, throwing footballs and signing jerseys maybe, or taking pictures and selfies, I'm sure that would probably be cool. But as far as watching it on TV, how surprised are you? Number one, Jeffrey, I'm going to start with you. Are you excited to know that Shedeur Sanders now can say that he's a Pro Bowl quarterback? Because he really is.
I'm going to go out and not buy his jersey. When are they going to make a two-hand touch instead of flag?
I don't know. But, I mean, it's close.
Should play on a cement street like I did when I was young.
You know, Brian,
that's why we're all like we are.
Yeah, when you look at it, though, I mean, is this causing a problem for the future coach of the Cleveland Browns? Because they're expecting it, well, I think so. And let me just lay it out for you for a second. Whether there's a real issue at heart or whether it's not, I'm trying to handle it the best possible way. But if you go in there as the head football coach for the Cleveland Browns, no matter the history, no matter how many quarterbacks they've cut, allowed to play, didn't do well, failed, left, whatever, all the quarterbacks that we all can name, at least 10 of them, there's going to be a thing brought into it that Shedeur is a Pro Bowl quarterback now, and Deion's son, and there has been talk of racism as well in the Cleveland area for that job. So do you think that all of these things are going to make a bubble that this coach is going, if they can even find one? There's been so many people that's turned it down. So what is going to happen with the Cleveland Browns with this Pro Bowl quarterback?
I don't want to go down the race line because they gave a lot of money to Deshaun Watson, who last time I checked wasn't white, but, whatever.
True.
I mean, it's what it is. And, I was wondering how Jamel Hill and all of the...
Stephen A.
Yeah, Stephen A. are going to complain about this, and they'll find a way. But here's the thing, is, in a way, the new coach of the Browns has it made in this situation. This was bad for Stefanski because he was already there and was established, and he had this foisted upon him. Here's what I mean. The new coach who comes in, when's the last time we had an NFL coach get fired in the first year? I don't think it's happened. Early in the second. The Titans guy was early in the second.
Carroll, the Raiders.
Well, yeah, Carroll did it at the end of the first year. That's right. But typically speaking,
got fired at the end of the year.
Yeah, typically speaking, what you've got going on here with the new coach, whoever it's going to be, I say you run Shedeur out right away day one. And here's why. Go through 8 games. If he's garbage, you have an easy out. Because, hey, wasn't my guy anyway, like that. We get to move on, and it's not pinned on you to go on and play him. If he's great, good for you. You started your career and you're 6-2 or whatever like that, and it works. So I think it's a slightly different situation for someone who comes in taking that job knowing that it's already there versus the Stefanski situation last year, which was foisted upon him. However you want to believe it happened, whether he wanted Gabriel and the owner saw an opportunity or what, it doesn't matter. Stefanski was in an almost no-win situation in the quarterback situation in Cleveland, whereas I think whoever comes in new has an opportunity either way it goes. But I'd run Shedeur out day one.
But look at the NFL. Look at what they've done. They've added to the issue. Because, see, that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is that this new coach coming in, putting in the new way, allowing him to be the quarterback, and then they're going to give him the Stefanski look of, you didn't call the right plays, you didn't push what his strengths were and all of that. It's almost like if he fails, it's always going to be somebody else's fault.
Not if they start him to start the season, I don't believe. Yeah, there will always be some boo birds no matter what. Right. But I don't think you can get rid of it. I don't think him being on the Pro Bowl matters that much for this reason. Based on the way the season ended, Does anybody think he wasn't going to be the starter starting next year? It's not going to be Watson. Flacco's going to be gone. It's not going to be Gabriel.
It depends on if they do decide to go, like if this new guy either gets a free agent or it depends on what happens with. It depends on what's going to happen with Penix. It still can matter what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Does Mason Rudolph? Does, these kind of guys, do they come out? That's what I'm thinking.
I think before this news about the Pro Bowl, which is a joke, but it speaks more to the Pro Bowl than Sanders, I think Shadur Sanders was going to be the starter day one for the Browns next season anyway.
Yeah.
Based on the way the season ended.
Well, and if it indeed was the owner who selected him, which he said it wasn't, I'm sure Stefanski, if he's talked about it now, he would probably tell the truth. I don't think he's going to because he's ready. He's so glad to get out of Cleveland. But when you look at whether or not somebody wants to come in, and if you wonder if you could be a fly on the wall of the interview process with these guys, if it's going to be mentioned, hey, just so you know, QB1 day one is going to be Shadur Sanders. Just kind of throwing that to you. If he loses or if he doesn't do well, then that's okay. But just going forward, starting out the gate, we want Shadur as our starting quarterback. And then the question that I thought that you brought up is where's Deshaun Watson? What is going on with Deshaun Watson? He was starting to run last year. He started to throw some. I mean, is he coming back? Are they letting him go? Because truly, Deshaun Watson was a better quarterback when he was healthy and playing than Shadur Sanders. He's a better option. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's going to happen, that they're going to put Shadur in right out the gate, whoever the coach is going to be?
I think it's a problem, the reason why people have been turning this job down. 2 people have turned it down, right?
3 now.
Yeah.
Yes, third one
But
today.
here's the weird part.
Could
I'm
be.
going to use reverse logic for a second here. Vrabel's in his first year at the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks.
Second, I think.
Oh, it's the second year?
I
Okay.
think so.
And then the Seahawks coach, first year?
Second year.
Second year, okay.
Vrabel's first year.
No, I think
the other second.
I really think this is Vrabel's second year.
Really?
No, they went from Mayo last year.
Yeah,
they went
This is
for
last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a rookie coach.
So here's what's crazy is that we have Steelers, McCarthy, right, first year, going to be there. The Ravens coach is going to be first year there. If Burrow leaves the Bengals and Rodgers doesn't come back, the Browns could be sitting on a gold mine, or these first-year coaches or second-year coaches and all that could be turning their programs around, and the Browns are sitting right back down and last again.
That's very true.
This is a weird situation.
It's a weird situation. We only have 1 minute left. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the coaching carousel. I want to ask y'all one answer, yes or no. Great hire by the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mike McCarthy.
No.
Great hire with Mike McCarthy, Steelers.
I would say good, but not great.
I think
Safe.
it's going to be the greatest thing. I think they're going to do really well. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, you heard it first here, by me, are coming back. Give me the yellow towel, baby, because the Steelers are going to come back. Because he's the one that I think they should have gotten this whole time. Because I thought he was awesome with the Cowboys, and he turned them around.
It's called the terrible towel because that's a terrible take.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out, but I'm just saying, you heard it first here. Next year, they're going to do better. Not sure who they're going to get to play quarterback. If they do get Rodgers back, fine. If they don't, I believe he'll be able to do what he can do with whatever. Because don't forget, he almost took Dak to the playoffs. That's had his best year. So get that guy a good quarterback, and I'm saying he turned Favre into what he was. Rodgers made Dak have the best year he ever had. I think it's good.
Is Rodgers 25 again?
Not anymore. Thanks for listening today. It's been a wonderful day. Make sure you bundle up. It's going to get really cold tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The magic plays here.
Couple of fakes outside.